Hello friends, welcome to GCA. Hope you are doing good. So today in this video I will be discussing about my situation reaction test strategy, and before this I have made a number of videos on preparation strategies, for example for personal interview strategy, blank story strategy, TAT strategy, WAT strategy, and if you want to watch all these videos the link is available in the I button. So in this video firstly I will discuss the basics of SRT in short, then the mistakes that I did in initial attempts with the help of an example, and finally the changes, and that too with the help of an example. So again, without wasting any time, let us start. So talking about the basics of SRT in brief, so in situation reaction test there are a total of 60 situations which we have to complete in 30 minutes, and the main requirement in SRT is to give spontaneous and practical responses, and that too within the time frame. And now in SRT quality matters more over quantity, and if you do around 45 responses then you are safe, that is you have better chances of recommendation if all of these responses are quality based. So let us now discuss the mistakes that I did during initial attempts. So the very first was I used to write long responses, so because of which I was not able to complete SRTs in large number. Now my responses were even less action oriented, and sometimes I used to write half response, like I was not able to complete all the actions required in the particular situation. And like I mentioned at the starting that I used to waste a lot of time in writing long solutions, so because of which some of my SRT situations were left blank. Now let me give you an example how I used to write. For example, the situation is one morning while going to office he saw a boy was hit by a speeding car and was bleeding, he dash. So I used to write like this. Sometimes instead of he I used to write I. He will go there and then provide him first aid and then call ambulance and then take him to hospital and then inform his family member and go to his work. So this is how I used to write. So you can see the response is very long. So let us now discuss the changes that I did. So the very first was I took professional guidance. So I have mentioned this again and again in my previous videos of psych also, that it is very important to take professional guidance for the preparation of psych test. Then I started taking more responsibilities in daily life, especially in my job, because SSB is not an academic test, it is a test of personality, and personality is an outcome of our daily routine. So because of which my responses became mature and they were short and crisp. Now instead of focusing on quantity I used to focus on quality. Now let me give an example how I used to write my responses after this. Now let us take the same situation. One morning while going to office he saw a boy was hit by a speeding car and was bleeding, he dash. So my responses were like that: provide first aid, call ambulance, take to hospital, inform his family, go to work. Now compare this response with the help of the example that I given at the start of the video. So you can see this response is short and crisp, and I have mentioned each and every action that is required in this situation. And one more thing that I followed in SRT is I started taking myself in that situation. For example, like this situation is given, there is a accident scene, so I used to take myself in that situation. If in real life I'm going to my office and if an accident takes place, then what will I do? So this is how I used to write my practical and natural responses. Now finally in the summary, let us discuss the suggestions for the better performance in SRT. So the first thing, if you can, then take proper guidance, then write short and action oriented responses like I've mentioned in the example. And yes, avoid writing words like I, would, should, can, will. Then like I mentioned, assume yourself in this situation and then respond accordingly. Like everybody have different personality, so everybody will respond differently in different situations. And finally, do a timed practice, and this will help you in managing your time in actual SSB also. So friends, this is all about the strategy that I followed for SRT, and I hope this information will be beneficial for you. So till then, keep learning, keep supporting and keep watching. Best of luck for your upcoming interview. Thank you and Jai Hind.